cannot stay cold, and some say they've spent months.
Have you ever noticed that buying a refrigerator today feels like gambling? You spend thousands on a shiny, feature-packed machine, hoping it won't break down the moment the warranty expires. Some brands that were once symbols of reliability have turned into kitchen nightmares. Meanwhile, some old-school models, seemingly outdated, outlast even the fanciest high-end options. In this video, we'll uncover the truth, which refrigerators to avoid, and which are the smart investments for 2025. Like and subscribe if this video was helpful to you. Indoor ice makers. In a showroom, refrigerators with indoor ice makers steal the spotlight. Press a button, and ice cubes clink into your glass, or you get crushed ice like you're at a cafe. For many families, it's a dream feature, luxurious, convenient, and space-saving in the freezer. But after a few years, many owners realize it's not a gift. It's a hidden burden. Here's why. Indoor ice makers are the most common point of failure in modern refrigerators. The system operates in constant humidity, with tiny mechanical parts like motors, sensors, and localized cooling units. When everything works, you get a cold drink in seconds. But if one part fails, the whole system can grind to a halt. From jammed ice trays to clogged pipes or frozen motors, these issues drive owners crazy. The frustration doesn't stop there. Repairing an indoor ice maker is insanely expensive. Because it's built into the door, disassembly and replacement are complex. Technicians often charge extra for labor, and brand-specific parts cost a fortune. Some customers report spending hundreds of dollars, nearly a third of the fridge's price, to fix the ice maker, only for it to break again soon after. For those who've been through it, the common fix is to ditch the feature entirely, switching to manual ice trays or a separate mini ice maker. That luxury perk becomes a useless, risky, and costly add-on. Sure, indoor ice makers are convenient. At parties or for quick family drinks, a single button delivers instant ice. But long-term, it's like a ticking time bomb for trouble. It's not a question of if it'll break, but when. So, when shopping for a fridge, stay sharp. Sometimes a traditional ice tray is a much smarter choice than a fancy feature, packed with potential headaches. Bottom freezer models. There's no denying the appeal of bottom freezer refrigerators. The fresh food up top, freezer down below layout is practical for daily use and adds a sleek, modern vibe to the kitchen. In a showroom, these fridges, with their sturdy handles and smooth sliding drawers, make you think, this is the fridge of the future. But behind the glamour lie issues many don't notice until they're calling a repairman. The first problem comes from how they work. Placing the freezer at the bottom means the cooling system has to work harder to maintain low temperatures far from the main cooling unit. Compressors run longer, fans work overtime, and parts wear out faster. Data shows bottom freezer models have a higher failure rate than traditional top freezer designs. For large families who frequently open the freezer, this puts even more strain on the system. The second weak point is the drawer design. It looks convenient, but when packed with food, the drawers get heavy. Tracks can loosen or jam after a few years. Some users say pulling out the freezer drawer feels like a daily gym workout. In some cases, tracks bend, preventing the drawer from sealing properly, which lets cold air escape and spikes your energy bill. Then there's the repair cost. Fixing a bottom freezer is pricier than a top freezer. Diagnosing and replacing parts is more complex, and technicians often charge extra for the time and effort. In some cases, repairing the freezer costs nearly half the price of a new fridge. Of course, bottom freezers have their perks. Fresh food is at eye level and easy to grab, making it great for families who rarely use frozen items. But if you prioritize durability, low maintenance costs, and long-term reliability, a bottom freezer might not be the wisest choice. Samsung. In the world of home appliances, Samsung knows how to make a stunning first impression. Their refrigerators look like supermodels in your kitchen, gleaming stainless steel, sleek touch control panels, and even large screens with Wi-Fi and music streaming. For many buyers, stepping into a showroom and seeing Samsung's modern, luxurious designs is enough to win them over. But sadly, behind that dazzling exterior lies a string of issues that often leave owners grimacing. The most common and controversial flaw is the ice maker. On paper, the indoor ice dispenser sounds amazing, press a button, and you get ice cubes or crushed ice for a refreshing drink. But in reality, it's a frequent point of failure. Many customers report that within months, the ice maker jams, freezes over, or stops working entirely. Some models have even faced class action lawsuits due to persistent issues over the years. Beyond that, Samsung's cooling system is often criticized for being overly complex. Packing in advanced technology makes the internal structure a tangled spider web. When something goes wrong, not every technician is willing or able to fix it. Some owners have had to call 3 different repairmen just to find someone with the expertise and parts to handle the job. Samsung's sealed cooling system is notoriously tricky to repair, driving maintenance costs well above average. Then there's Samsung's customer service, a source of frustration for many. Owners often wait weeks for a small part replacement or get shuffled between service centers. A refrigerator is a must-have appliance, so even a few days of downtime can lead to spoiled food and big losses. The irony? Samsung fridges still sell like hotcakes, thanks to their eye-catching looks and promises of smart technology. But in reality, a touchscreen or internet connectivity doesn't keep your food fresh. When the veggie drawer freezes solid, the freezer isn't cold enough or the ice maker fails. That fancy display becomes useless jewelry. In short, Samsung is like a flashy sports car with an unreliable engine. You might feel proud showing it off to friends, but every breakdown hits your wallet and patience hard. If luxury aesthetics are your priority, Samsung might satisfy. But if you want a durable, low-hassle refrigerator that's truly worth the price, Samsung in 2025 isn't a safe bet. LG. Mention LG, and many think of sleek designs, elegant touch controls, and promises of energy efficiency with tons of smart features. In a showroom, LG refrigerators stand out as some of the most striking, easily winning over buyers with their upscale look. But dive into real-world use, and LG leaves many shaking their heads due to recurring issues, especially with critical components. The biggest nightmare for LG owners over the years has been the linear compressor. Marketed as cutting-edge, quiet, and energy-efficient, it sounded like a win. But in reality, countless units have failed early, sparking class action lawsuits. Owners report that after just a few years, the compressor struggles, leading to freezers that aren't cold enough or fridges that can't maintain steady temperatures. When this happens, repair or replacement costs are sky-high, leaving owners frustrated that fixing it costs almost as much as buying a new one. The ice maker is another frequent complaint. LG's ice trays often jam, freeze up, or stop working altogether. Some families have had to buy separate ice makers to compensate for a feature that was supposed to be a highlight of the product. The issue has persisted across multiple model generations, spawning online groups where users vent and share DIY fixes. What makes LG even more frustrating is the high maintenance cost and repair complexity. Many parts are brand-specific, expensive, and take weeks to arrive. Since a fridge is essential, a few days of downtime can mean a pile of spoiled food. To be fair, if you get a healthy LG fridge, the experience can be great. It runs quietly, uses less power, and has a slick interface and smart shelf layouts. But the problem is the gamble. You're not guaranteed peace of mind. You're hoping your unit doesn't have issues. For a product priced between $500 and $3,000, consumers rightfully expect certainty, not a roll of the dice. LG in 2025 is like a tech superstar, dazzling on stage, full of flair, but with unacceptable flaws behind the scenes. If you love cutting-edge features and are willing to risk some hiccups, LG still has appeal. Have you ever lost money on this kind of headache? Share below. Whirlpool. Among brands that still hold a steady place in the American market, Whirlpool is like the Toyota Corolla of refrigeration. Not flashy, not trendy, but reliable and familiar. Consumers choose Whirlpool not for glamour, but for the peace of mind that comes with a refrigerator that simply keeps food fresh and cold. Whirlpool's biggest strength is its simple design. Their top freezer models, around for decades, still have appeal. No touchscreens, no dazzling control panels, just a straightforward compressor and cooling system that maintains steady temperatures. This simplicity means fewer breakdowns, and when issues arise, repairs are easy and affordable. Any technician can handle it, and parts are widely available, making Whirlpool a practical choice. However, Whirlpool isn't as flawless as it once was. Expanding production across multiple factories has led to inconsistent quality. Some models run smoothly for over a decade, while others show wear after just a few years. Users report weak hinges, brittle plastic shelves, or compressors that hum louder than expected. This inconsistency has turned Whirlpool from an idol into a mostly reliable friend who sometimes forgets plans. On the flip side, Whirlpool keeps prices reasonable and doesn't turn refrigerators into tech experiments. You won't worry about software update glitches or frozen touchscreens. Instead, Whirlpool focuses on what users truly need: consistent cooling, long-term performance, and easy maintenance. In short, Whirlpool may not wow you when you open the door, but it brings relief through years of use. For those who value practicality and stability, Whirlpool remains a trustworthy name, like a loyal Corolla that gets you to work every day without much fuss. Frigidaire. If you grew up in an American household in the 80s or 90s, you might have seen a Frigidaire fridge chugging along for decades with barely a hiccup. Back then, Frigidaire was a symbol of durability, simplicity, and easy repairs. But in 2025, the story has changed. That familiar name no longer means peace of mind. It's now a source of frustration for many. The biggest letdown is the sharp decline in build quality. Inside, the plastic used for shelves and bins is thinner, cracking or breaking under heavy loads. Door hinges, the heart of a tight seal, wear out quickly, causing doors to misalign and let cold air leak, which spikes your energy bill. Rubber gaskets, once durable, now crack or loosen sooner than expected, forcing early replacements. It gets worse. Frigidaire frustrates owners with unusually high repair costs. Many parts are proprietary and hard to find outside official channels, leaving you reliant on expensive brand service. Even basic fixes can result in bills of hundreds of dollars. Some owners report spending nearly half the fridge's original cost to replace a control board, only to face another issue months later. The irony? Frigidaire's lower price tags make it seem like a budget-friendly choice, but factor in repair costs, wait times for parts, and daily inconveniences, and the total cost can exceed pricier brands. The affordable advantage quickly fades. Frigidaire today is like a legend that's lost its spark. For those needing a reliable, long-lasting fridge to serve their family for years, it's hard to put faith in this brand anymore. Electrolux. Electrolux might not dazzle you when you walk into a showroom. They don't boast loud touchscreens, smart fridge hype, or futuristic features. Instead, Electrolux takes a quieter approach, focusing on steady cooling and practical design. This understated style earns the trust of many long-term users. Electrolux's first big win is its even cooling and temperature control. Food stays fresh whether it's on the top or bottom shelf, with fewer cases of one drawer's too cold, another's not cool enough, like some brands. It's not a headline-grabbing feature, but for users, it's what matters. Open the fridge, and your veggies are crisp, milk is cool, and ice stays frozen as expected. Another advantage is the streamlined design. Electrolux keeps things modern and elegant without overcomplicating. Buttons, shelves, and controls are intuitive, even for older users. By avoiding excessive tech, they reduce the number of breakable parts, which means lower maintenance costs. Of course, Electrolux isn't perfect. Some budget models use less sturdy plastic that can scratch or loosen over time. And in the luxury segment, Electrolux doesn't compete, so if you want a showpiece fridge for a high-end kitchen, it might fall short. But if your goal is a durable, affordable, low-hassle appliance, Electrolux is a smart pick. In a world where brands turn fridges into tablets with doors, Electrolux reminds us that a refrigerator's core job is to keep food fresh every day. Sometimes that simple, stable, budget-friendly approach delivers the real value users need. Amana. Amana isn't the brand that makes showroom visitors stop and stare. You won't hear loud ads boasting about giant touchscreens or spherical ice-making tech, but that humility is its strength. Amana opts out of the feature race to focus on the essentials: a refrigerator that runs reliably, is easy to use, and causes minimal headaches. The standout feature of Amana is its practical dependability. Many families share that their Amana fridge has run smoothly for a decade, needing only a water filter change or minor fixes. Its simple design, with fewer electronic components, means fewer things can break. When issues do arise, replacement parts are common. Any technician can handle repairs, and maintenance costs are budget-friendly. That's why Amana is often called a hard-working friend, unassuming but always getting the job done. That said, Amana has its limits. Appearance-wise, it won't wow those who crave luxury. You'll rarely find sleek French doors or modern touch controls on an Amana. High-end features like dual cooling systems or advanced air filters are also scarce in this price range. In return, Amana keeps prices affordable, making it ideal for practical families who want a sturdy, inexpensive fridge that doesn't demand complex upkeep. In a market where brands often overdo it to impress, Amana is a reminder that simplicity can be the key to lasting value. If you want a refrigerator that keeps things cold and doesn't add stress, Amana is a smart choice. It may not turn your kitchen into a showroom, but it will give you peace of mind every time you open the door, day after day. The 2025 refrigerator market reveals a clear truth. The more tech, the more risk. Samsung and LG dazzle but are prone to issues. Indoor ice makers and bottom freezers bring hidden hassles. Meanwhile, Whirlpool, Electrolux, and Amana hold strong with their simplicity and reliability. Don't miss content that helps protect your wallet. Hit subscribe.